Trenton here with SoundlinkTV at New Brookland Tavern, Columbia. This time with Micah from Oh Sleeper. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. You guys just ripped a gig, literally. So
Yeah.
I don't really do many post-show interviews, and so it was actually the first encore you guys played this entire tour too. So which was kind of surprising considering that's sort of like a given a lot of times. And so I guess I guess why you guys maybe not planning one or what's going on with this tour?
Well, we had it like, I don't know. Encores have always been something where it's like, okay, so then we walk off and then we're gonna stand there and wait for everyone. And it just kind of, it got gimmicky.
Yeah.
And we used to always just do them. It was just a given that it was gonna happen. And like, if one person would be like, one more song, one of us would go out and be like, huh, and it just got really like hokey. And this tour, we were just thinking about like all the bands that we loved seeing, and to get like Nine Inch Nails to come out and do an encore, or to get like any of the Glassjaw to get out and do an encore, or anything like that, like it would have to be like the entire room would not leave unless they come back out. And we were talking about that, and we were like, man, that's how an encore should be. It should be a special thing that doesn't happen at every show. And like, if the vibe is right and everyone's connected, and everyone's just like will not leave unless you play another song, then that should be when you play an encore. So that happened tonight, and we hadn't done one this whole tour, and we're like, we're probably not going to play one this tour. And then we were standing around, and I was already at merch. So was our bass player.
You guys were gone.
Shane was out at the van, and everyone was just like, one more song. So we just kind of like looked at each other. We kind of went and gathered up and like, I guess we're gonna do this. And actually, a couple fans came and just like pushed me on stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of funny.
So,
yeah, you're right. It is kind of gimmicky now, but at the same time, though, a lot of bands, especially like you guys who've been around for years, I think Emery started doing this too. They're like, we're just going to play all these songs. We're not even going to like go off the stage and have you guys chant. This is, we're going to play our songs. And so, I guess that's sort of like a thing a lot of you guys have starting to do. It's just like you guys have done that your entire careers, people chanting that, and you come out and play it, and then now you're just like, what, we're going to give them what we have. This is literally all we have. But I guess if it happens, it happens. So
I mean, after you played like over 1,000 shows and everything, you've got to keep it fresh and genuine, and that was just, we try to trim out anything that ends up being just kind of muscle memory, like just like, oh, now we do the encore, now we'll walk off. Okay, so we're gonna put all these songs in the set, but we're specifically gonna say we should save our biggest hits for the encore because we know we're gonna do one. Instead, we'll just build a good set now, and we have some saved we have some that we will do for an encore, but the goal is to like for every tour maybe do like 2 or 3 encores out of like 40 shows. Okay. And then those shows are really special,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of real, genuine, and fresh, you guys finally dropped a new record after all these years. People wondering, you guys, I guess for like the scene Tool, maybe people were wondering if you guys are like going to drop the record or not. Oh, here's a song, here's Oxygen, and like 2 years later, here's the record. So like after with it being finally out and stuff, what's it like? I guess finally getting something out for people to listen to.
It is surreal, man. These songs had been written for 4 years. Well, maybe like 3 years. The album itself had been recorded for 1.5 years by the time it came out. So we'd been listening to these songs for 1.5 years, and just like, and then we had demos of them for even longer than that. So the fact that it's out now and people are like singing along at shows and playing them live and everything, it's a surreal feeling. All of our other albums, the longest we ever took to write an album was like 1 year, I think, and that was When I Am God. Then the next longest was like 5 months, and that was Children of Fire. And I think Sun of the Morning took like 3 months or something.
Wow.
So this album took 4 years or 3-4 years.
And it's still fresh. It's not like you're playing these songs like, God, we've been playing this dang song for like 4 years now, and so it's new to us. It's like new to me, new to y'all, old to me, and so like you guys haven't gotten burnt out on that.
No. That's it. Just breathed new life into them all for us, and it also, seeing how well they've been going over, it's definitely got us all grinning at each other, just like man, we'll start writing some new stuff. Like start working on that next album. You know.
Dropped a new one in 3 months,
Yeah,
you know?
that would be insane.
Yeah. Yeah. So with these songs, you know, I guess a lot of people, you know, you grow through your careers, and I guess over 4 years you grow too. So I guess without the message, you know, being lost as where you are now from where you started it, I guess what is something on this record you want people to take away from that is still with you guys? Because, you know, you write when in the moment kind of thing, and so writing a record over 4 years, some of that may be not where you are anymore. And so I guess what does this record encompass for the band, and what is it that you guys are trying to say with it that represents where you guys were 4 years ago and today?
Well, the message of there's a lot of messages in the album, but the story, the underlying story that it was inspired off of is the story of what's been going on with us for the past 6 years.
Okay.
So getting it released and going out on this tour is awesome because it basically tells a story of what brought us to this tour, and like the last few songs of the album basically encompasses like where we're at now.
Okay.
And so it's just lined up perfectly for us, and everything just feels right because now we're officially back, and we have basically an explanation that's coded in an album that you can dive in and read to your heart's content, or you can just jam it and be stoked that there's music out. But either way, it's out there, and I feel like all of us feel like we can finally progress on with our lives, because getting this album out has been just the biggest weight on all of our shoulders. Just knowing it needed to happen, but not knowing how it was going to happen.
Yeah, so with the tour, I don't know how many days you have left, but this tour's going on now. You guys just released a record. I guess you guys are back, so gas on the pedal. Where you guys, what is the next step? Because I mean, you guys are here. You guys just can't, you know, go away again. You know what I mean? So.
Well, the whole idea was basically this album was written so that it either could be it could be our last album, or it could be just the end of this concept, and ready to start another one after this. But it also is written with the end song. The Summit is basically a reflection of our entire career, and looking at it like, you know, if the journey's over, like if the summit that you reach, if the view is just the journey that brought you, then I just want to go back and start over again, you know, like, so really we're just waiting for the fans to let us know. Okay. Like if hype continues to generate and everyone loved this album, and there's a demand for us, and we can actually do this, then this is what we want to do. And then we're going to start working on another album. Okay. But, you know, if it's just like, this is what everyone needed to move on from us or whatever, then we'll be able to see that, and then we'll act accordingly. So
I guess now those numbers with sales and everything and really matter more than ever, because, you know, people are like, first week sales matter, and they do, and especially now because the industry is sort of like on a decline with that. But like, you know, for you guys to go as a band forward with this, without this being your last album, you know, you guys actually need those numbers to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Because numbers, like streaming numbers, all this stuff like that, that's how promoters book you, and that's how they decide if they want to bring you out. So if your numbers are low, you don't get offers, you can't come play shows, you can't come play for people. So basically we're putting this out, we're hitting the road hard, we're going overseas after we get back, and then just gonna basically tour our asses off for the rest of the year and start booking out next year too. Okay. But we're just gonna keep an eye on the numbers and see as shows happen, and as people come out, and as conversations happen, we're just going to see where the vibe is, and if everybody still wants us here, we would love to be here, and we'll keep writing music.
Awesome. Great to hear that. So kind of a funny question for you just before we go here. I don't know if you've seen the news or Facebook with the whole Area 51 stuff or whatever. So, you know, this will probably be out after the event happens. And so if you pulled up in the van to raid Area 51, what item would you grab as a weapon to take out the guards?
That's a good question. It'd have to be something they're not expecting, I feel like. Because if they're guarding Area 51, they've got defenses for human weaponry, alien weaponry. Who knows what they've got? There's probably a force field there too. So I think I would probably try to be like a support character in the van. Maybe I would like I would probably have some good prep work, some like lead time going into it. And I would try to like devise some kind of a scanner to see if, so I'm in a van with all my boys and they've all got these sick weapons, but I need to scan that area to make sure that those weapons are even going to work. Or maybe I can find weak spots to target for everybody to make our whole assault a little bit more efficient. So I think I would work on a scanner.
I guess touring has you to think about this kind of stuff. That was very well thought out and planned. So there you go.
A lot of people want to be the damage dealer, but you need your support. So there we go.
There you go. All right, man. Well, thanks for your time today. Continue to support No Sleeper. Buy their new record. Come see them at a show. I'm Trenton with SoundlinkTV. This is Micah with No Sleeper. Thanks for watching.